Dear all, this exercise aims at generating a grid that is not purely rectangular, but can take any shape that you want, and gluing grid together. For that, we need to go to RGF Grid. And the idea is here, in previously we just generated the grid by creating rectangular grid and having a rectangular grid. And what you can do is, for example, if you want to have a particular shape, here you can, with a polygon, you can edit or delete the grid within the polygon, and can start a new polygon. Delete the grid, until you have a kind of river. Well, the bad thing about this river, so-called river, is that the grid is not really along the flow, and you see also on the sides it's a kind of staircase effect where the grid is not nicely aligned to any boundaries of a certain river. So I'm deleting this, and I'm deleting the polygons. And I'm deleting the grid. So what you can do is with the help of support lines, or splines as I call them, you can see them here, you can create new grids. I'm not sure why I cannot enter the splines here, so I start RGF Grid again. I can edit, and I can add here a line. If I now right click the mouse, I can start a new support line or spline. Right click and I make it closed. So here we defined a kind of area which is circumvented by splines. And the nice thing is now that we can fill this with a grid. Under settings, general, you can define the refinement factor. So I want to have 5 grids in X direction or in M direction and 20 grids in N direction. What N and M directions are, I don't know. It's something that we have to find out. And by pressing this shortcut button, or by going to edit splines or operations, change splines to grid, it's the same button, we come to this one. So I don't like this grid. I'm saying I'm deleting the grid because there are many grids in M direction and not so many in N direction. Yes. So I'm going to back to general. This must be 20 and this must be 5. Here you can see that we created a very nice grid following the splines. And one thing to do is that you see that this is not very orthogonal. We need basically perpendicular angles, and we can orthogonalize the grid like here. And now you see that we have within the area defined by the splines, we have a very orthogonal grid, and we can save that. We can save this grid, export grid. We call it 001. Very good. Now we want to glue this to another grid, to another piece of river. I'm going to delete the splines then. And let's assume that we have some splines over here. Right mouse to finish a spline so that you can start it again. Again, a closed area. And here also a closed area. And I'm now going to fill it. And I'm going to orthogonalize this. And I'm going to save this also as 2. Now I'm going to import the first grid. We see we have now 2 grids, and we want to glue them together. And question is how to do that. First of all, you have to take care that the grid points that you want to glue together are very close to each other. I'm doing that right now by clicking the grid, and then we can say under edit grid, paste 2 grids. Now you see that these grids have been glued together, and we can save, export this grid to 003. Again, you have to take care that this is orthogonal. So maybe we can make an orthogonalization step. You can see that it's now nicely orthogonal. On the view, you can say also, like grid property, you can look at orthogonality. And this is your orthogonality. I don't know what these colors mean. I think they're not properly, this is not a proper operation, so maybe that's not a good idea to do. Anyway, we generated a grid that looks nicely, and you can do this kind of operations on every grid that you want to generate. Okay, that's what I wanted to tell you. Thanks.